The miracle of breathing. Take a deep breath and let's explore. Hey there, science fans. Today, we're going to embark on an incredible journey into one of the most essential and fascinating processes of the human body, breathing. Have you ever stopped to think about breathing? It's something we do every moment of our lives, yet we rarely give it a second thought. But what if I told you that this seemingly simple act is actually a complex and miraculous process? It's something we do without even thinking, like a superpower we use every single second. Imagine having a superpower that keeps you alive, fuels your body, and powers your mind. That's exactly what breathing does for us. But it's a pretty amazing process when you break it down. From the moment you inhale, a series of intricate events unfold within your body, all working together to keep you alive and well. Breathing is our body's way of getting the oxygen it needs to survive. Every breath you take brings in oxygen, which is then transported to every cell in your body, providing the energy needed for all your activities. It's like refueling a car, but instead of gasoline, we're taking in oxygen. Just as a car needs fuel to run, our bodies need oxygen to function properly. Without it, we wouldn't be able to move, think, or even exist. Without oxygen, our cells would stop working, kind of like a car running out of gas. When cells are deprived of oxygen, they can't produce the energy they need, leading to serious consequences for our health. So, how does this life-giving process work? Let's take a closer look at the journey of a single breath, from the moment it enters your body to the moment it leaves. It all comes down to a fascinating interaction between our lungs, our muscles, and some basic laws of physics. When you inhale, your diaphragm and intercostal muscles contract, creating a vacuum that pulls air into your lungs. Get ready to explore the incredible world of pulmonary ventilation. Let's dive in. We'll uncover the secrets of how air travels through your respiratory system, how oxygen is exchanged for carbon dioxide, and how your body ensures that every cell gets the oxygen it needs. So take a deep breath, and let's begin this amazing exploration together. Pulmonary ventilation is a fancy way of saying breathing. It's the process of moving air into and out of our lungs. Think of your lungs like balloons. When we breathe in, our lungs inflate like balloons filling up with air. When we breathe out, they deflate as the air moves out. But unlike balloons, our lungs don't inflate and deflate on their own. We need a little help from our respiratory muscles. These muscles are the unsung heroes of breathing, working tirelessly to keep us alive. Let's start with inspiration, which is just a fancy word for breathing in. The star of the show during inspiration is a dome-shaped muscle called the diaphragm. Imagine the diaphragm as a trampoline inside your chest, just below your lungs. When you breathe in, the diaphragm contracts, meaning it tightens and flattens out. This downward movement creates more space in your chest cavity. Now remember those lung balloons? With more space available, the lungs expand and air rushes in to fill the extra space. That's one breath in. While the diaphragm is the main act during inspiration, it gets some help from its friends, the intercostal muscles. These muscles are located between your ribs. Think of them like the metal supports that help open an umbrella. When you breathe in, the intercostal muscles contract, pulling your ribcage upwards and outwards. This further expands the chest cavity, giving those lung balloons even more room to inflate. It's a team effort. Section 5. Expiration. A passive, yet essential exit. Now that we've taken a breath in, it's time to breathe out, a process called expiration. The good news is that expiration is usually a passive process. Remember how the diaphragm contracted and flattened during inspiration? Well, during expiration, the diaphragm relaxes and returns to its dome shape. Like letting go of a stretched rubber band, the lungs naturally recoil, pushing the air out. It's like a gentle sigh of relief for your respiratory system. Section 6. Active expiration, when we need an extra push. While expiration is usually passive, there are times when we need a little extra oomph to breathe out. This is called active expiration and comes into play during exercise or when we need to exhale forcefully, like blowing out birthday candles. So, who are the muscles responsible for this extra push? Let's meet the abdominal team. Section 7. Muscles of active expiration, the abdominal team. When you need to exhale forcefully, your abdominal muscles step up to the plate. Imagine these muscles as a corset around your abdomen. When they contract, they push on your internal organs, which in turn push up on the diaphragm. This upward pressure on the diaphragm helps squeeze even more air out of the lungs. It's like giving your lungs a little hug to help them empty out. Way to go, abs. Section 8, accessory muscles, the backup singers of breathing. When we think about breathing, the diaphragm often takes center stage. However, there's a whole ensemble of muscles working behind the scenes to ensure we get the oxygen we need. Besides the diaphragm, intercostal muscles, and abdominal muscles, we also have a group of muscles called accessory muscles that can assist with breathing, especially during times of increased demand, like during strenuous exercise or if you have a respiratory illness. These accessory muscles are crucial when our primary breathing muscles need extra support. These muscles are located in your neck, chest, and back, and they help lift the rib cage even further, increasing the volume of the chest cavity and allowing for greater air intake. For instance, the sternocleidomastoid and scalene muscles in the neck play a significant role in elevating the rib cage, while the pectoral muscles in the chest assist in expanding the rib cage for more air. Think of them as the backup singers of breathing, always there to lend a helping hand or muscle when needed. Just like in a musical performance, where backup singers enhance the lead singer's voice, these accessory muscles enhance the efficiency of our breathing. Teamwork makes the dream work. The collaboration between the diaphragm, intercostal muscles, abdominal muscles, and accessory muscles ensures that our respiratory system functions smoothly, adapting to various demands and conditions. Whether you're running a marathon, recovering from a respiratory illness, or simply taking a deep breath, remember the unsung heroes working tirelessly to keep you breathing effortlessly. Section 9, breathing control. It's mostly automatic. One of the most amazing things about breathing is that we don't have to think about it most of the time. Our brain has a special area called the respiratory center that automatically sends signals to our respiratory muscles, telling them when to contract and relax. This means we can breathe without even realizing it, whether we're awake, asleep, or even concentrating on something else entirely. Pretty cool, right? Thanks, brain. Section 10. Factors affecting breathing from exercise to altitude. While breathing is mostly automatic, several factors can influence our breathing rate and depth. These factors can range from physical activity to environmental conditions, and understanding them can help us manage our breathing more effectively. During exercise, our muscles work harder and need more oxygen. This increased demand for oxygen is met by our respiratory system, which ramps up its activity to supply the necessary oxygen to our muscles. Our brain senses this increased demand and tells our respiratory muscles to pick up the pace. This is achieved through a complex network of signals that ensure our breathing rate and depth are adjusted to meet the body's needs. We breathe faster and deeper to deliver more oxygen to those hard-working muscles. But it's not just exercise that affects our breathing. Altitude also plays a significant role in how we breathe. At higher altitudes, the air pressure is lower, meaning there's less oxygen available in each breath. This reduced oxygen availability can have a noticeable impact on our breathing patterns. Our bodies compensate by increasing our breathing rate to take in more oxygen. This is a natural response to ensure that our tissues and organs receive the oxygen they need to function properly. This is why you might feel a little short of breath when you're high up in the mountains. The body is working harder to get the oxygen it needs, which can make breathing feel more laborious. In extreme cases, supplemental oxygen might be necessary to help the body cope with the reduced oxygen levels. This is often seen in high-altitude expeditions where climbers use oxygen masks to maintain adequate oxygen levels. The body also undergoes several physiological changes to adapt to high altitudes. These include increased red blood cell production, which helps transport more oxygen throughout the body. Over time, the body can acclimatize to high altitudes, making breathing easier as it adjusts to the lower oxygen levels. This process can take days to weeks, depending on the altitude and the individual's physical condition. Whether you're exercising or exploring high-altitude locations, understanding how these factors affect your breathing can help you prepare and adapt, ensuring you stay healthy and perform at your best. Section 11. Conclusion: breathing, a vital symphony of muscles. So there you have it, the incredible world of pulmonary ventilation. From the diaphragm's grand entrance to the abdominal team's powerful push, our respiratory muscles work in perfect harmony to keep us breathing. It's a process we often take for granted, but it's essential for life itself. So, the next time you take a deep breath, take a moment to appreciate the amazing symphony of muscles working tirelessly inside your body to make it all happen. Stay curious, science fans.